Today in SERDNA Talks, we're going to talk about one of the most controversial topics in the USA. Let's talk about the housing market crisis. This black swan event that came during the first trimester of 2020 has been one of the most perfectly planned events of our lives. And many years ago, the rumor was that by 2020, everything was going to be in video. The trend showed that businesses were moving online 100% and that video was going to be number one, and of course it is. Just take a look at Zoom, which is one of the biggest winners. Let's go back to the subject. It was announced this week that American Airlines will be cutting almost 20,000 jobs before the end of this year. So what do you think is going to happen with those families and their properties? If those employees are currently renting, do you think that they will be able to afford the rent? And if those employees are homeowners, do you think they will file for forbearance? Look, the wealthy are leaving the major cities. They're looking for places where space is not an issue anymore, so bye-bye New York City. And as per Freddie Mac, the average 30-year mortgage interest rate is around 2.9%, which is awesome. And this is one of the reasons why we have an aggressive real estate market here in Miami. Real estate is hot as Miami, and we're living in a seller's market. Sales have increased approximately 21%, and the worst is that we don't have inventory. Also, for the first time ever, the national median home price surpassed $330,000 level in July, and record low mortgage rates and low inventory has kept the US housing market strong. What's more unbelievable is that the unemployment rate grows every other second. Millions of people are losing their jobs. They're losing decades of hard work and sacrifice, but the biggest corporations are getting richer than ever. Keep in mind that the real economy shows that the country is about to collapse. Just wait for the riots prior to the presidential elections. I will be shocked and surprised if we don't see any riots around us. I really hope I'm wrong. And yes, I know that you're thinking that I'm being alarmist or a pessimist, but I expect to see chaos like never before. People don't realize that the fact that people have a car, it doesn't mean that they have money to buy food. And people are spending hours in line just to get Capri Sun, which is sad. How can you give kids those type of beverages? Supposedly, food banks' main goal is to help people, right? Then why do they give them Capri Sun? I'm pretty sure that they're also giving away Doritos, cigarettes, Dunkin' Donuts, etc. They should be given nutritious food, that's all. And to add to the equation, even if landlords can evict their tenants, right now because of the pandemic, that doesn't mean that the problem has been solved. And banks are just happily waiting for the tsunami of foreclosures coming our way anytime soon. And the courts are already seeing the wave of evictions piling up. At the end, we will have millions of people sick, unemployed, divorced, without money, without food, and without a roof on their head. This transfer of wealth is really something else. And the majority of the population still believe that this is caused by this black swan event that came during the first trimester of this year. Supposedly, this black swan event was created by nature or God. Yeah, right. Just remember that the bigger the crisis, the bigger the opportunity. And since we have millions of people in this country without a job, what do you think is going to happen? Just picture this. You don't have a job. There is no way that you will get one. Plus, now you're late on your mortgage or rent. Very tough scenario. Some people believe that nothing is going to happen. They say that we won't have another wave of foreclosures because most homeowners have equity on their homes. Supposedly, a very small percentage of homeowners will be underwater because they owe more than what their property is worth. And those are the ones who will be losing their properties, but I think it's much bigger than that. Remember this, real estate is harder than ever, and money is extremely cheap. So, if you really want to buy a property, I hope you have excellent credit. If not, it could cost you an arm and a leg. According to the Mortgage Bankers Association, mortgage applications decreased 2% in the last week, which is very odd, and people have stopped refinancing their properties. Perhaps we will see another drastic change in interest rates, and that could motivate tons of people to keep refinancing their properties. Just remember this: the housing market is on steroids. Mortgage delinquencies are tied to unemployment, and based on what I have seen, I clearly see that the sky is about to fall, and the forbearance crisis is really something else. If you're in the market to buy 1 or 2 or 3 or more properties, understand the following. Low interest rates are a great incentive for people to buy, but the low inventory is what's pushing prices go up. But what's more frightening is that very soon we will have millions of people on the streets, since renters will be evicted and property owners will be foreclosed. So when are we going to see prices decrease? I think that's going to happen in the next 12 or 24 months, something around there. If you have questions, remember to subscribe to SERDNA Talks and to share all my videos with your friends and family. I have to go. See you soon. Ciao.